You&I is a trademark of UNI Limited. Their core focus as a social enterprise is to develop leadership capacity among the youth, starting from high school to university and into the workforce. Here is a small peek of the workforce.
My name is Simon Kioko.
My name is Jonathan Garama.
My name is Susan Maina.
So my name is Brian Obed.
The group discussions.
So just to get a feel of the room, when I ask how you feeling, you say excellent. How you really feeling? Really excellent. So how are you feeling?
Excellent.
How are you really feeling? Fantastic.
Their goal is to build the youth in the society and equip them with the right mindset and skills to become change agents in both private and public sectors.
U&I is quote-unquote a movement of young people who are trying to be part of a mission or something bigger than themselves. So it's just people who have enough time to dedicate to doing something beyond what they do. Maybe if you're a student and you have extra time, you want to actually go back and give back to a society or a community. So just getting young people who are passionate about doing something for community to be able to plug in a structured way. So U&I is just, as the name suggests, is just U&I trying to do something different.
U&I, it's first of all a community of people with the same vision. A community of people who want to go in a certain direction. So U&I, it's being part of a community with a purpose. So you get a chance to give back to the society what you've learned. So there's the aspect of learning from each other while you're giving back. And that is purposeful.
Here's a deeper enlightenment of U&I Club.
U&I started in 2016, so it was just a conversation I had with former ISEC president. The initial person we started working on this on was is called Santana. She moved to China. She's working there after doing her masters in China. But it was a conversation of what can we do after ISEC term, because I was part of ISEC leadership and we were trying to do something meaningful after our experience. So she kept talking about her high school experience, because she was a prefect in high school. I was also a prefect. So we found that both our experiences were not as fulfilling as we would have expected it to be, because we were prefects, but we didn't use that role or experience the best way, because either we didn't know how to lead at that particular time, or there was no supportive structure to help us use our power or our privilege to better the community we're leading. So we asked ourselves, how can we get other young people to go to our high school, and then I can also get a few guys from my high school to go now to my high school as well. So we planned an event at Remuru Girls where we brought in 22 high schools, so prefects from these 22 high schools, and we took them through a 2-hour session of what it means to lead. We went out to the grass and sat down and had conversations about leadership. So it was a model that we created that it was more fan-based, because most forums is where a CEO is invited and he speaks to the whole school community and then he leaves. But we created a structure where we give them the speech, of course, but now have them ask those deep conversations under a shade or in the basketball court or just somewhere that is out of the main hall, so that we're able to have a candid conversation, they're able to relate with us because we're still young people. So that's how the model worked in that particular time. Then in 2017, I met a good friend of mine. Unfortunately, he passed on this last month in March, called Jared. He was in the Ethiopian plane crash, and he was part of the director of U&I. So he was so passionate as well in giving back. So at first with Santana, it was more of a hobby, just trying to go to high schools on a Saturday, to spend a Saturday afternoon talking to young people. But when I met Jared, who was very business oriented, he left so many businesses he started because he was very entrepreneurial. So he said, how can we create U&I to move from a hobby or a passion to a social enterprise? So we created the structure, business model. That's how we started now working on projects that either could raise funds that go back to now these schools, or support schools that cannot afford to pay maybe guest speakers to come speak to them, or pay for motivational talks. So that's how it translated now from a passion to now a business. Yeah. I envision you and I becoming a more community-based United Nations, because when you look at United Nations, you think about the big projects, the big people, the late Kofi Annan, you look at presidents who sit at those UN summits, but how can we have a kind of united community or a United Nation that is for the basic people who probably are not celebrities or famous or leaders in those top jobs like being president or being head of World Bank and all that. So I'm trying to create a movement, and that's the vision I see. How can we have thousands and thousands of young people being united in one mission? So my goal is also, I hope, is that in future us as young people will even model a good leadership structure for this country. I know Kenya is one of the countries looked at when we look at things to do with corruption or poor governance. So how can we change the mindset of young people to actually know that they can choose a different leader when they decide to? How can we create a movement that will now choose leaders based on ethics or based on their track record, so that we stop complaining about corruption and yet we're not doing something about it? So that's the vision I have, a movement that will be able to be a voice of many young people locally here in Kenya, but also expanding to Africa as a continent.
Here are some of their expectations.
To be leaders that are going to effect necessary change in the society.
I want to become a better person, and the network as well that I've met within the community, I feel like there are people who constantly keep me in check, and they make me want to grow more and learn more. And so that's what has personally changed and improved in me, yeah.
They should join it, definitely.
You should definitely join you and I.
So I will tell them to join the club.
It's more of joining us in moving change, positive change.
At this point in time, we need young people to step up into leadership, and based on the vibrance that they have and the entrepreneurship-led driven mindset, it is going to create a lot of change and impact in the society. And this is what you and I is championing.
I feel like it's more of a lifelong community of change makers, and so I'd recommend strongly, like, to anyone who wants to join the program to join it.
Who doesn't want to be part of a community?
We have a very simple website. It's youandi.co.ke, just the basic word you and I, and then .co.ke. So from that website, it's very simple to use, user-friendly, easy to navigate. So you just be able to see the tabs where you asked, are you interested to join in either the academy or the community? So you'll get to see what the academy is all about and the requirements. You also get to see what the community is all about and the requirement as well. We're very active as well on social media. You and I Kenya on Facebook, you and I 254 Instagram and Twitter, and YouTube, you and I Kenya. Yeah.